Welcome back to These Things Are Written on this Tuesday. We are continuing with Isaiah chapter 10, beginning with verse 12. When the Lord has finished all his work on Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, he will punish the speech of the arrogant king, the king of Assyria, and the boastful look in his eyes. His work on Mount Zion is the work of punishment. And remember, he is using the king of Assyria to rend his judgment, to be the one that judges. For he says, the king is speaking here, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom for I have understanding. I remove the boundaries of people, and I plunder their treasures. Like a bull, I bring down those who sit on thrones. My hand is found like a nest, the wealth of the peoples. And as one gathers eggs that have been forsaken, so I have gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved a wing, or opened the mouth, or chirped. This really shows the arrogance of the king. What the king thinks he has done, removing boundaries of peoples, plundering their treasures, the whole analogy of a nest. I remember when I was a kid, I would be responsible for the chickens and reach under and grab an egg out of the nest. You know, certain chickens you could do that with, and they would just simply let you do that. Others, you better watch out. They would not just raise a wing, but they would strike at you with their beak. What he's saying is there was none that even moved a wing or opened the mouth or chirped. In other words, everyone just stood by and let the king. None were able to stop him. Verse 15. Shall the axe boast over him who hews with it, or the saw magnify itself against who wields it? As if a rod should wield him who lifts it, or as a staff should lift him who is not wood. Therefore the Lord of hosts will send wasting sickness among his stout warriors, and under his glory a burning will be kindled, like the burning of fire. First of all, verse 15 is amazing parallelism and amazing symbolism. Talking about the axe. Does an axe boast over the one who uses it, or the saw, or the rod, or the staff? In other words, the king of Assyria is simply an instrument being used by God. Should he boast over the one who is using him? He is simply God's instrument. And because he is boasting, therefore the Lord will send this wasting sickness among his stout warriors. And again, that's what happened. Read later on. Again, I think it's chapter 36 of Isaiah, where God sends a plague among the soldiers of Assyria and destroys them in one night. Under his glory is a burning will be kindled, like the burning of fire. Under his glory, the glory of the king of Assyria that he thinks he has, there will be a burning. The light of Israel, verse 17, will become a fire, and his Holy One a flame. Again, parallelism there. Wow. And it will burn and devour his thorns and briars in one day. The glory of his forest and of his fruitful land, the Lord will destroy both soul and body. And it will be as when a sick man wastes away. The remnant of the trees of his forest will be so few that a child can write them down. The destruction that God has coming towards Assyria is great. It will be total destruction. As we look at this, it's a reminder that God gives to us as well, that those who are wicked will in the end be punished. They will perish. For us, that end is Judgment Day. This, in a way, shows us what will happen on Judgment Day. Judgment Day for the Assyrians was then. Judgment Day for the whole world will be when Christ comes again. the evil, the godless will get what is coming to them, and we will receive what God has given to us through Jesus Christ, life forever. Tomorrow we are going to wrap up chapter 10. So come back and we'll see more. There's a little bit more gospel in this next 3 days. So make sure you don't stop now. Continue on through the rest so you get that good message of what God has in store for his people. We'll see you then.